Alright, so hello gamers and welcome back to another video. So recently in the Phantom Forces test plays, we got probably one of the biggest changes ever. And this is basically an unimplemented feature that is in the main game, but hasn't actually been utilized yet. And now it's finally going to be utilized, but right now it's in a very weird spot. If you guys didn't know, guns in this game have a torso and headshot multiplier, which means some guns will do more damage to the center of the body. Every single gun in this game will do more headshot damage. It's usually 40%. Sometimes it's less and sometimes it's more, but generally about 40% more. Plenty of guns also do about 10% more damage when you hit the torso. Like for example, the Type 20 here has a 1.1 torso multi and actually does 50% more headshot damage. The DR300 here has 1.2 and 1.5. So basically these will just multiply your base damage by 1.2 or whatever and add 20% more, 10% more, whatever it is. That's how the damage has worked for a long time, but recently we got a very new feature known as the limb multiplier, which is kind of redundant considering the torso multiplier kind of already makes up for the fact that there's no limb multiplier, because you can just make the base damage lower and then have a torso multiplier. And a limb multiplier is generally not needed. But stylists tried to utilize this feature and they did it in a very weird way. Right now, the hollow point conversion, as you can see, gives you a 1.1 limb multiplier, but a 0.9 torso multiplier, and lowers your headshot damage by just as much as before. This no longer has an effect on your max damage range, and that will make your min damage range worse. So basically what this gives you is the ability to deal about the same damage outside of the torso and head, basically. So you can do a little bit added damage when you hit the foot or the arm, which sounds actually pretty decent, right? In fact, this will make the Colt SMG a 3-shot kill, but before the hollow point conversion could actually make it, you had 20% more damage all around. It would remove your extra torso multiplier, but now it will actually lower your torso damage, not just give you less torso multiplier. It will do less than base damage when you hit the torso, which I've said many times is the biggest hitbox on the body, so it's probably the thing you're gonna hit the most. Like there, I hit the torso 4 times, because this will be a 4-shot kill and will do less damage when you hit the torso. So in this video, I'm gonna really quickly try to find guns that would be pretty good with it. The Colt SMG could be pretty good with hollow point, and I guess I can look at the other stats of the gun because maybe this will be okay. This actually doesn't affect your min damage anymore, which is pretty cool, but you got to keep in mind headshotting is terrible now. You do 17% more damage instead of 40%, so a massive decrease in headshot multiplier. And also over range, you're going to be doing 16.2 instead of 18, and in close range you will be doing 28.8. So you can still 4-shot kill to the torso, but you can 3-shot kill to the limbs. But the problem is the torso is the biggest hitbox on the body, as I've said. So now hollow point will basically, instead of giving you more CQC performance, technically give you more all-around performance, kind of. Because keep in mind, you do actually, you know, do extra damage over range with any gun in the game, which sounds cool until you realize the torso is the biggest hitbox. You're not gonna hit the limbs every time. In fact, you probably shouldn't be going for the limbs anyway. Hollow point on the G36C will actually give you a 3-shot kill without having to run 300 blackout, and still a 5-hit kill over range, except you got to keep in mind that if you hit a single torso, now it's going to be a 6-hit kill over range. So the old hollow point would have been better, but you also got to keep in mind the headshot damage on this is terrible now. As you can see, I'm hitting only torso shots. So is this a good change? Overall, I would say no. Hollow point is definitely not a great ammo type anyway. It's either super broken or terrible, and right now it's terrible on probably every gun in the game. In some guns it's all right, but not really worth using. What we're looking for here is a change to the hollow point conversion to make it a little bit more useful, and right now I'm really not seeing that at all. With this, I guess you get a little bit more 3-hit kill, but only to the limbs, you know? That's how it's going to work for most guns. You're going to get a little bit better damage and maybe, you know, a better hit to kill, but only to the limbs. My proposal for this is maybe make the headshot damage thing stay the same, but possibly allow it to not reduce your torso multiplier. Just keep it at 1.0 times. That way, if a gun has an extra torso multiplier, that is removed, but your default damage to the body is not going to be lowered, because hollow point, I guess it kind of makes sense that would do like extra damage to limbs. Kind of, you know, because it's a hollow point, but in real life that would probably generally mean it does more damage overall. It just has less armor penetration, but in this game not really so much. But I want to try it with a gun with a torso multiplier to begin with, such as the Scar H. And as you can see, you get a torso multiplier of 0.99 times, which is cool because you're like, okay, now it doesn't really affect your damage. It reduces it by 1%, so not a massive deal, right? The only issue is that you're basically flipping your 2 multipliers, right? Now instead of dealing that damage to the torso, you're going to be dealing that damage to the limbs minus 1%. But you got to keep in mind, a torso multiplier is better than a limb multiplier. And the reason for that is you can hit more torso shots pretty easily than you can hit limb shots. So you're basically just moving that damage over to something else, you know? The limb damage is becoming torso damage is getting reversed, and you're losing a ton of headshot damage. So now your gun probably can't even 1 torso, 1 limb like the Scar H normally can. So yeah, hollow point in this current state is not good at all, but I like where they're going with this. It just needs a little bit more balancing, you know? I would love to see the limb multiplier be a little bit more of its own thing. thing, add it to more guns, and, you know, rebalance guns with that. But honestly, I don't know. It's kind of redundant because basically we can have less than a 1.0 times torso multiplier, and there you go. Now you have more damage. It does the default damage to the limbs, and you can basically just balance the other two multipliers without a limb multiplier. But I guess it could be cool to have this on some guns. But yeah, like I said, right now it's in a terrible spot. Hollow point will not be good on basically anything. On a couple like close range SMGs, it could be considered okay because you can get a 3-shot kill on the Colt SMG. It's just the fact that like you lose headshot multi, min damage basically, close range damage basically. And the only way this could be good is if you actually like hit the leg every single time, which you can't really just aim for the legs, you know? It's not gonna really work. And if you're like super cracked and you're like, I can hit every leg shot, then just, you know, use default ammo and go for the head. It will do more damage. It does 10% more damage. The limbs with hollow point, and default, if you hit the head, it's 40%. So just go for your headshots and it will be better. No hate to Silas for this change. I think it's a great idea. It just needs a little bit more balancing. And of course, that's why it's in the test play. So I can't really hate on it too much. It's not in the main game, but yeah, it needs some changes, you know? But yeah, if you guys did enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe. If you're new, I will make a full update video when this stuff actually hits main game. But yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Have a nice day.